Hey there, hello and welcome. It is Madeline here. Super excited to be with you as always. I am on multiple devices, so if I'm looking all around, please forgive me. I have my corporate friends on the conference line as usual. And today we're talking about how to avoid holiday drama. So, and actually, if you're watching this after the holidays, this could just be called how to avoid drama, right? How to avoid office drama, how to avoid family drama. I hope these steps, and I have 5 steps for you, and I hope that they serve you, right? Because the holidays are upon us, right? They're fast approaching, and the pressure is on, right? The stress is on. We have lots to do with less time to do it in, right? So Christmas was only a short amount of time after Thanksgiving here in the United States. So it was a more compressed time to get everything that we need to get done. And I know that you, my friends, are already pretty busy, right? Because you're already getting a lot done as it is. And myself, I'm feeling the crunch too, because it's like, oh my goodness, it's Christmas. It's Christmas next week, right? Next Wednesday, I think. So spit spot, time to get things wrapped up, okay? So, and I hear from my friends, my people, my clients, my callers, right, that the people that we need to see over the holidays could be a challenge, right? So, maybe you are pretty good at avoiding certain individuals over, during the year, but the holidays are here and, the jig is up and you can't avoid them any longer. Or, maybe you don't, maybe it's someone who just gets under your skin, and with the pressure of the holidays, it's going to be, the pressure of the holidays, maybe we're partying and we're drinking and people are even more relaxed and more foreboding than usual. And I'm hearing that you're already getting the stories, right? You already have the stories going on in your head, right? So you're already projecting how the interaction is going to go with this person. And you're starting to play scenarios out in your head. Have you done this before? I've been guilty of this myself. I'm blessed due to the work that I do. I'm blessed that I catch myself really quickly and I don't go down that rabbit hole as far, right? So these days I'm kind of like circling the rabbit hole. I really don't get lost in the rabbit hole. And no judgment if you do, right? It just want to bring this to your awareness, and having it in your awareness that, oh, there I go, right? There I go with my mind telling that story, making all these assumptions and assumptions about how things are going to go, and we expend all this time and energy over something that hasn't happened, that probably won't happen. Although if you do focus on it, right, if this is where you put your attention, it's more likely to happen, right? So energetically, that that's how it goes, right? So it's time, right? The holidays are upon us. You're going to see who you have to see. You're going to be with people that, maybe aren't your favorite people, or that you wouldn't necessarily choose to spend a lot of time with, or they rub you the wrong way, or, after their interaction, you always leave feeling less than joyful, right? Because feeling joyful is the goal, right? That's our inherent nature, and we're meant to enjoy life, okay? And then after interactions with certain individuals, you're feeling less than joyful. And then you played the situation over and over and over again in your mind, right? So then the interaction has occurred, and then you ruminate over it for way too long. And this is an energy suck, right? That's right. So what do you do about it? So probably not what you're thinking, but I want you to consider these steps for you, these steps I have for you, okay? So step number 1, right, for dealing with, any difficult person or anyone who is challenging to you, is recognize that everyone is doing the best that they can, okay? So, and I can imagine that that might be rubbing some of you the wrong way, and I haven't finished the statement. And I remember the first time, this is one of the core principles that I teach in my Primordial Power program, right? And we install this as a belief, because that's what successful people do, right? They understand that everyone is doing the best that they can from their level of consciousness or with the resources that they have available to them. So what does that mean? I remember the first time I heard this, I was working in corporate. I was in leadership at corporate, and I was at some kind of leadership training or seminar. And I remember the speaker saying, teaching this principle that, everyone is doing the best that they can. And I remember thinking to myself, cover the baby's ears if they're around. Like, that's bullshit, right? People know better. They should be doing better. They should be doing better. They cannot, like XYZ person or situation cannot possibly be doing the best that they can. Okay, that's nonsense. And then, fast forward years later, I'm in a different kind of training. I was in a teacher training actually with my teacher, Deepak Chopra, and Deepak said, understand that everyone is doing the best that they can from their level of consciousness, right? And in NLP, we say with the resources that are available to them, right? Hey, Kara, good to see you. Glad you made it live. Right? So, and there's the shift, right? That's where I was able to shift, right? So we all have different experiences, right? We've all had different life experiences. We've all have different beliefs and different values. And we come from most people, right? So this is a belief that you can choose to adopt, that most people are doing the best they can from their level of awareness. And then when you believe this, then you can show up and give others some grace, right? Just like you would like some grace when you're coming from less than your highest self, right? So they're doing the best that they can. And if they knew better, they would do better, okay? So forgive them. And I was recently reminded, earlier this week, I was recently reminded of this principle as I was just driving down the street, a pretty busy street, and I live in the city, and this person just crossed the street, in the middle of the street, not in the crosswalk, in the middle of traffic, just crossed the street, didn't look either way, and just walked across the street as if she wasn't in traffic. And my initial response was of annoyance, right? Like, oh, I gotta slow down. Where's this person coming from? She could cause an accident. And then I realized she doesn't know any better, right? So anyone who's really of their faculty is actually reminded of my father. That was something that he would have done at his sickest days because he didn't know any better, right? So, and I looked at this lady and I thought, oh my goodness, good thing it's me and I'm paying attention and I can stop and allow her to cross the street because she doesn't realize she's in a dangerous situation. Okay, so do you see the shift in the energy from that perspective of, from going like, what the hell is wrong with this person, to, like, oh my goodness, she doesn't know any better, right? We're giving both them grace, and we're giving ourselves grace to come from a better place. So over the holidays, when that person starts to push your buttons, recognize, one, that they're your buttons, right? And you decide if you push them or not, and recognize that they're doing the best that they can from their level of awareness or consciousness. If you're on the line, say hello. So I have my corporate friends on the line as usual, so I can see who you are. So that's step number one, okay? Step number two, and I've talked about this before, this is pretty deep stuff, but I know that my high achiever can handle it, right? So step number two is recognize that the other person is you, okay? So what does that mean? I also learned this lesson from my teacher, Deepak Chopra, right? And that is that the things that annoy us most in others are the things that we don't like about ourselves, right? And over the summer, I shared an exercise where, like, pick a person who really, and if you're brave enough to do this, right? You can do this before you encounter that person that rubs you the wrong way, or those people that rub you the wrong way over the holidays, right? And that is recognize that the other person is you, right? So pick this person and make a list of all the attributes of theirs that annoys you, rubs you the wrong way, whatever the negative emotion is. And then ask yourself where those attributes or characteristics reside in yourself. And you'll find that they do. If you're honest enough, if you are aware enough, you will find that they do. And here begins the shift, okay? And then to come out of the negative, like, oh my goodness, I do all those things too, then list all the good things about that person, right? All the attributes about that person that you appreciate or admire. And I assure you there's at least one thing, okay? So, and then recognize that those are the things in yourself that you appreciate and would like to bring forward, okay? This is a very humbling exercise, and it will definitely facilitate a shift that will allow you to show up to your holiday festivities or whatever situation it is that will allow you to be graceful and peaceful and loving in that situation. I'm going to try to keep it kind of brief because I know I know people are busy, so I'm not going to tell the story about that. But I'm sure it'll come around again. I'll tell the story another time. Okay, so recognize that the other person is you. Step number 3 is let go of the need to be right. Okay, so I don't know where I first heard it, right? Is do you want to have peace or do you want to be right? And I feel you, my love, right? I love to be right. Okay, but not at the expense of my peace. Okay, and understand, right, or acknowledge that the holidays is not the time to change people. Okay, to try to change people's opinions, to try to change people's values. You can't change people's values. People are the only ones that can change their own values. And that's our deepest level programming. And it's not something that happens easily and effortlessly, right? So Christmas time, the holidays, right? Whatever holidays you celebrate, it's not the time to change people. It's not the time to facilitate a shift for them. And recognize that it takes two to have a negative interaction, right? To have an argument or to have a fight even, right? So be the change that you want to see in the world, in your family, at the dining room table or at the bar, wherever you're meeting, right? Show up from the place of, I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to be peaceful. I'm not going to, like, I know that this person has the tendency to, display XYZ behavior that I don't appreciate. And I'm not going to get sucked in, right? I'm not going to get sucked into that. This is just a great time to talk about. This is one of the biggest breakthroughs that my clients notice, right? One of the biggest shifts that my clients notice after we do our work together, after we do their breakthrough session, actually, is that I don't get sucked into the drama anymore, Madeline. One client went home for Thanksgiving, and this is a client who has had really a tumultuous relationship with her immediate family. And she came back and she was like, Madeline, it was all good. Yeah, they did what they do, but I wasn't affected by it, right? So that's what happens when you do this kind of work and are able to shift and let that stuff go, right? But the first step is bringing the situation into your awareness and recognizing and deciding, right? Decide now that you're not going to let that person get to you. You're not going to engage in conversations that aren't a good use of your time and energy. And this could mean getting up and leaving the table, getting up and leaving the room, leaving the party if you can. If it's your home, if you're the host or the hostess and you can't leave the situation, you can leave the room, you can go into the bathroom or the bedroom and collect yourself, or you can eloquently change the subject, okay? And I can hear some of you, my loves, thinking, Madeline, I don't know how I'm going to do this. We're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I get that, right? Which brings me to my next step. I get that because if you're coming from beneath your baggage, your emotional baggage or trauma that you've experienced with these people in the past, I get that you could be hard pressed to execute any or all of these steps, but just having them in your, I'm proud of you for having them in your awareness, okay? So, but step number 4 is something you can do in the moment, okay? And anyone can do this. And that is breathe, okay? So when you feel yourself being triggered by someone or something or conversation, breathe. Bring your attention to your breathe, right? Because when we go into stress response, right, and being in a negative situation that doesn't feel good to us, we go into stress response. Body, mind, spirit. Not spirit. Spirit is always whole. But body, mind, but we're disconnected from spirit. Body and mind go into stress response, which disconnects us from spirit or soul, higher being, whatever energy, whatever word or philosophy you like, okay? So we stop breathing, right? We cut off when we're in stress response. Often we're holding our breath, or we go into shallow breathing, which is stress response. So you can bring in the holidays, in the stressful situation, bring your awareness to your breath, okay? Just notice your breath, maybe take a couple of deep breaths, and you'll be able to shift, right? You'll begin to shift into who you really are, not that ego person that is being triggered by the other's ego, okay? And then if you really can, right, then do the 4 count breath that I taught a few days ago. I think it was over the weekend. I taught the 4 count breath that the Navy SEALs do when they're returning from a high stress situation and they need to recover and return back to homeostasis. And that's the 4 count breath. And that's count in for a slow, comfortable count of 4 in through the nostrils and then out through the nostrils. Okay. And a 4 count, a slow, comfortable count of 4, right? And 4 repetitions of that, 16 seconds to bliss, I call it, and my teacher David G calls it, right? Because that your physiology has already started to shift from stress into relaxation response, okay? So you do that 4 by 4 breath, all right? And the 5th step is twofold, which is pray and meditate, right? Which are the opposite sides of 2 coins, okay? Prayer is when we talk to God. Meditation is when we live it, when we listen. And prayer and meditation is going to give us the strength and the peace of mind and the awareness, right, to be able to implement all of these other steps when we are faced with a situation that is challenging to us. So, okay, so I hope that serves you. So let me do a quick recap, okay? And then we'll go into meditation, okay? We'll do the meditation that I promised. That you can take with you into the coming days, right? Before and through the holidays, okay? Really simple, really quick to do as well, okay? Step number 1, everyone's doing. Recognize that everyone's doing the best that they can from their level of awareness. Give them some grace, okay? Step number 2, recognize that the other person is you, right? That whatever the shadow work, whatever is annoying you about them is probably what you don't like about yourself, which is why it's so infuriating, okay? Number 3 is let go of your need to be right and show up as the change you want to see in your environment, okay? And 4 and 5 is number 4 is breathe, right? Implement that when you find yourself being triggered, come holiday time, right? Or even in preparation for holiday time, breathe, okay? Bring your awareness to your breath, take nice deep belly breaths, and do the 4 by 4 breath, or 16 seconds to bliss, as I like to call it. And pray and meditate as we come up, as we approach the holidays, right? Pray and meditate for the strength to get through the holidays with some peace, some grace, and hopefully some joy, right? It's supposed to be the happiest time of the year. And this is the work that we do in my Primordial Power program, as I've explained before, right? So, and it's after we do this work together that the stuff is pretty easy, because because you make a shift, and that becomes who you are, right? You get more connected to your higher self, which is peaceful, joyful, and living with grace and ease. And if you'd like to talk to me about how to step into your power, I invite you to schedule a power session with me. It'll be about 15, 20 minutes, and we'll talk about how to get your power back, okay? And you do that by going to MadelineCorrea.com/apply, and I'll put the link in the comments right after meditation, okay? So let's prepare for meditation. This is going to be fun. You can do this on your own afterwards, okay? And that is in a seated upright position, comfortable, shoulders over hips, neck long, crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath, okay? Breathe in and out through the nose if you can, right? If you're stuffy, of course, breathe through your mouth. And then we'll start with 3 ha breaths, okay? So a ha breath is a deep inhalation through the nostrils, and then twice as long exhalation out an open mouth, making the sound. Again, inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale. One more. I know I said 3. One more. The ancient wisdom traditions teach that ha breaths connects us with source energy, God, spirit, whatever you believe. Okay? Now return to normal breathing, comfortable breath. And I want you to imagine your timeline and think about moving out into the future. Whatever comes up for you is perfect, right? Trust your unconscious. And think about moving out into the future and imagine that gathering that may be causing you a little bit of angst, or that you are less than looking forward to, okay? If angst is too strong a word, probably not, though, if you're here with me, okay? Imagine that. Imagine that. And then go out past it, right? Imagine that you're past it. And then look back and see it going as beautifully as it possibly can, okay? Imagine. Remember, you're looking back on it. It's already happened, okay? And you're looking back, and it went swimmingly, beautifully. How did it go? What did you see? What did you hear? Laughter. What did you smell, right? There's probably some amazing smells happening at our Christmas gatherings. How did you feel? And imagine the best possible outcome, right? The best possible outcome, maybe even beyond your wildest imagination. You can imagine it now. And if you imagine it now, you can imagine it, it's possible. You can make it happen. The energy of your imagination, your focus, your being can bring this scenario to life. So again, you're looking back and you are seeing a joyful experience, a graceful experience. What do you see? Make it color and lifelike. Make it as enticing or as happy as it can be for you. What do you hear and smell? Hear it now. Hear it now. And most importantly, what does it feel like? Right? What are you feeling in this joyful experience? And really feel the feelings of the best possible scenario. That's right. That's right. When you're ready, With your eyes closed, come back to now. Come back to now and just float right back into now. Return to your breathing. In and out through the nose. And let's do 3 hot breaths to come out of the process. Nice long inhale in through the nose. Exhale out an open mouth. Again. One more. When you're ready, when it's comfortable, come back into the room. Open your eyes to the room. I hope the meditation was comfortable. And so you can do, pretty simple, right? Straightforward. You can take this with you into your holiday season and into your life. Visualizations are really powerful, right? They're really powerful because they get us into the energy of what we want. And we know that the universe bends to our energy. So it behooves us to lean into what we want instead of what we don't want, right? That's right. Yeah. So, and I know that it can be a challenge to go there when you're feeling stressed out, anxious, depressed, in turmoil, right? Which is why, again, I invite you, if you want to take your power back and get rid of all those negative emotions and move into peace, joy, and ease, I invite you again to book your power session. I have a few slots open before the holidays. My program is opening, right? Enrollment is open now for getting started in January, but we're going to start right away, right? I am working over the holidays because I can't bear to be away. I'm going to take some days off for the Christmas holidays. I celebrate Christmas, but we can get started right away. There are bonuses if you get started right away. So book your call. I'll put the link in the comments below, Madeline Correa /apply, and we'll see about getting your power back now. Okay, so we can end the decade, my loves, right? End the decades on a high note and have built up good momentum to get us moving into the new year and the new decade, 2020. I am super excited about 2020, and I hope you are too. So thank you again for joining me. I hope this serves you. Let me know in the comments below what questions you have, if you liked it, didn't like it, liked it, what have you. And I will look forward. Hopefully I'll be talking to you soon. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. And until then, I will see you in the gap. Namaste. Be blessed.